Hello traders, welcome to Leaf Algo's very first trading educational video. And today we're going to explore one of my favorite tools, very powerful tool, and that is the Fib channel. I don't think Fib channels are talked about enough or utilized enough. I think they're very underutilized, and that's why we're here today, giving you a kind of an overview of how to place Fib channels and what they can be used for, and a very simple setup on how you can incorporate a Fib channel with other indicators. But before we dive in, make sure to give us a boost and follow our channel because we intend to produce a lot more content video-wise, as well as continuing writing informational articles on technical and fundamental analysis as well. But are you ready? Let's get started on this. So the Fib channel is a tool that identifies potential non-horizontal support and resistance zones. And what I mean by that is these zones aren't true horizontal. Like you see, this is a support and resistance zone here. We have another one in this region here. On the smaller levels, that is, or the lower time frames. And we're looking at potential support and resistance zones that are at a diagonal. So to place a Fib channel, we need to have three things. We need a starting point, we need a critical low, we need a critical high. And I'm using this critical low because it was the second time that this price bounced off of this support and resistance zone. And for everything that we're going to be looking at trade setup wise when we get to that portion is going to be after this point, because we wouldn't have seen any of the bounce points that were previously done in real time. And obviously this isn't in real time either, and this is for example purposes, but you'll see the validity here as we go through these different steps. So you're going to go over here, and in your drop down settings on the drawing tool here, you'll see Fib channels. It's the third one down, and we're going to take that first low point, or the start of the trend, which was the higher low that initiated this trend, and we're going to draw it through. And I'm going to bring it past because we're wanting to look into the future. And as you can see, we're going to go off of this point here and also try and grab as many touch points as we can as we bring it up. So then you'd bring the top up and around, bring that back, and you can shift this however you want. It doesn't change the angle or like the touch point necessarily, as long as you set it correctly. So I'm going to put it right there, just so I can encompass the whole beginning of the trend. And for now, as we can see that price is currently falling out of the channel, we're going to not really extend it much farther. But if you double click on it, you can extend this drawing tool to the left or to the right. You can add different Fib extensions into it. I mean, you can do just about anything you want. So here we have our normal Fib levels: 0, 0.236, 0.382, 0.5, 0.618, and 0.786 and 1. But we're looking at this, and what does this all mean? What do we have here? Well, as you can see, as we move along, the Fibonacci channel is incredibly useful for finding these points of interest in the market. When price approaches the upper channels, the upper boundaries of the channels, if the price is below the channel, like say this one right here is the 0.5 and then the 0.618, those are areas of potential resistance. And you can see that historically, a lot of these have been very accurate and very consistent. And so we would be looking at trade setups from here on out. Today, we're going to use just one indicator. I highly recommend, if you're going to incorporate anything with any trading strategy, and we've kind of harped on this a lot in the past, is to create a robust system that's not giving yourself analysis paralysis, where you're not having 20 indicators on your chart. It should be a complementary and robust system. Today we're going to do something pretty simple. We're just going to put a MACD on the chart. Not very all-encompassing, but can give us a good insight into how Fibonacci channels can be used with oscillators. And so we'd be looking at areas of resistance. We're going to jump down a time frame here quick. Actually, I'm going to jump down to the 1 hour. But again, this is that critical low point. We have the critical high point back here. And we'll be looking for things like higher lows with zero line crossovers that are positive, or price breaking out of structure, because you like here you can see that there is a symmetrical triangle very much right near this point of like this resistance zone here. If I were to grab from like here on over, let's drag that down. All right, right about there. So as you can see, the price had originally rejected off of the 0.5, came down, and I wouldn't be entering too many trades in the initial setup of things, as far as like longs or shorts, because you don't know where it's going to necessarily come back down. So it's always good to let the price play out a little bit after you've done your drawn your channel. Though note that there is a short opportunity here with the divergence, but here we have a positive crossover and a breakout of structure, and this could be very much a good area to enter in at, especially as it cleanly breaks through. So you could enter in on this first candle after the close, or if you're an aggressive trader, after the breakout. From there, you could set different take profit levels at the different fibs, whether it be the 0.5, the 0.618, or the 0.786. Either way, this trade would have ended up being very well in the profit. Another way we can look at this, conversely, is for short opportunities. Here we see that the price reaches up to the 0.786 fib level twice, but there's a divergence there. That is a big one on the 1 hour chart. So with that being said, there could be a very good short opportunity here as well. We have another divergence set up with a bounce off of the zero line, which is the original trend line, and an uptick there, divergence there. So we have long, short, and with appropriate TA, is very feasible that any trader could enter into these trades with these tools. And realistically speaking, I'm on Ethereum right now, but you can do this for any asset, any class. I mean, I put one on the E-mini NASDAQ here the other day. We're going to zoom out to the daily here. Now remember, we'd be looking at every single point after here, but historically speaking, you can see many points where the price has bounced off or played around with these different fib levels, giving a lot of insight to how, accurate these historical things are. Now you got to remember, historical compliance isn't always a thing for future results. So we have to take it still with a grain of salt and confirm with other indicators and technical analysis. So that kind of covers how we can use the Fibonacci channels with other indicators. I implore you to take this indicator, play with it. It takes a lot of practice, with any drawing tool. There's a lot of subjectivity to it, to the user. So it's very important to practice these things, practice placing these channels to make sure you're getting it right, trying to hit as many touch points as you can, and just seeing how it all lines up. But as you can see, incorporating this with other indicators the fib channel can be a very useful tool for making more insightful trading decisions. And that's it. We hope you liked this. And if you liked this video, please give us a boost and follow our channel for more content. And if you have any trading ideas that you would like to be covered, please drop them in the comments below. We love to hear viewer feedback or reader feedback in any circumstance. We love your feedback and we want to hear it so we can keep producing the content that you want to see. So with that, until next time, happy trading.